Welcome to Red Coast Review. I am Olive.
I'm John.
I'm Andrew.
We just saw Weapons. Andrew saw it for the first time. I saw it for the second time, and John saw it for the third time.
This is my third time because I have my own horror movie podcast called the Cantaloupe Cats. But yeah, Weapons is the second movie by Zach Cregger. People might know him from The Whitest Kids You Know, but his last horror movie was Barbarian, which I really loved. So,
did you see Barbarian?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
How many people know him from The Whitest Kids You Know, do you think? Like
I only know from the interview.
Like how much does that linger? Because I remember The Whitest Kids You Know, like 2004 to 2006 there I was at pianos. But it seems like the TV show
Wow, 2004 to 6, so it's been like 19 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know him from that at all. I just knew him from Barbarian.
Yeah.
So.
No wonder his first movie was like so impactful because he's been a storyteller and a performer for such a long time.
I think I gotta go back and watch some of those skits.
Weapons.
Wait, Olive, my question for you
Yes.
is, which part of the movie gave you a panic attack on watch one?
Can you guess?
I'm thinking it's the principal, when the principal lost it. That maybe gave you a panic attack, no?
I did have one super loud scream when they were searching for the kids in the basement. When the dad was looking for Matthew.
And then it's the witch instead.
And I
That's the scariest part.
In his ear.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
You are very calm right now, and you've always been able to put your thoughts and feelings in the right place. I could not walk. My first watch, people were leaving the theater. I was just sitting down, like, crying, and John was like, "Are you okay?" And I was just shaking.
It's a rush.
I also felt that my heart, I felt it on the left side. I have like a heartburn, like a heart attack. It was so good. It was so real. I felt from the writer-director that what he wants to say, he said it completely, and we've got it all. So it was very shocking.
See, that's what I'm wondering about is how much is what we just saw a symbol for something, for a bigger idea? Was it just that ghost story that he wanted to tell? Was it a symbol for something in modern life? Was it a symbol to something personal to him? What do you think? Because I have no idea.
I feel like the storytelling, the rhythm, the sounds, everything was like fairy tale from the narrator in the beginning, like a little girl telling you.
That's a good point. There is like a Grimm's fairy tale kind of vibe to it, almost like Hansel and Gretel, and she's like the witch.
Miss Candy also couldn't help the police. Like, the story was told to us, we know how to receive it.
Right, but like, the thing that came to my mind, and this is total spoilers in the tradition of Red Couch, is that the kids and all the people who were possessed are the weapons, right? And then eventually, like, the person who's been manipulating and who's weaponized these victims, the weapons turn against them and they get their just desserts. Yeah. And so as the ending was playing out, I was running through my brain of like, who are the people who are weaponizing in this modern world? And like, is this like a warning tale to them? Or is this a warning tale to all of us and how we weaponize, if we do, or?
It's true,
or is it not about that? Is it not that moralistic or not that?
Well, when you watch the first movie he did, Barbarian, right? One of the things I walked away from that movie with was, who's the barbarian, right?
Right.
It's not the lady. Is it the lady? The place is called, the house, the address was Barbary Street, so anyone who's there is technically a barbarian. Could it be the man in the basement who was the barbarian? Is it Justin Long's character who threw her off the thing at the end?
Sure.
You know? And so this movie, kind of like you have this title Weapons, and you have to wonder what the weapons are too. It's like very similar where he's kind of being cagey about his meaning. I mean, there are some hints in the movie. Like,
do you have any speculations?
I have a few.
Share one. So it doesn't have to be right.
Yeah, so one of them might be, this is not about weapons, but there was that conversation in the car at the end where the dad's talking to his son. His son's like, why do we gotta move this lady in? Like, I don't know this lady. And he's like, well, you know, she's family. You gotta help out family. So I feel like there's kind of some meaning in there about the obligation that family puts on you and how certain members of your family might actually be toxic. And that this kind of obligation towards this idea of family can actually ruin family.
Right.
So there's a little of that in there. There's something in there about.
And
They made a very dumb decision for themselves and the whole town.
Yeah, because the mom's like, no one's gonna help her. I'm gonna help her.
Right.
That's what destroyed them.
Right. It's like, well, you don't like her. You don't know her.
Really related to them, or it was like some kind of like family friend.
You know how many families have moved someone in because you are obligated to move this person in, and they're like a toxic monster, and it destroys the entire family?
And when her heart stopped, everything was peaceful again.
Yeah. So there is something hidden in there about that.
And
I don't know.
I'm glad to just say I can have your parents hurt themselves, hurt each other.
Eat each other.
Yeah, I can even, if I want to, I can make them eat each other.
There's something about kids. There might be something about school shootings. There was an AK-47 in the sky during one of the dreams. And like, there is something creepy about coming to school and none of the kids show up. That's like a weird...
It's like everyone dreamed about it a little bit.
Yeah. There was a theme in there about how when a tragedy happens, people look for someone to blame because everyone was like going after the teacher. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, this is the teacher's fault. What does she know? Right. She did something. It's her class. When like, in retrospect, when you look at it, the one kid who came to school is probably the person with the answer. When you
it was obvious.
Occam's razor would tell you.
Right. And this kind of goes, this goes along with what you're saying of like, well, she's our aunt, so we gotta take her in. Do you really? And it was also sort of like, well, he's a kid, so we gotta use the kid's gloves.
Yeah, he's a kid. We have to like...
But in fact, the kid was the answer.
He was holding the secret.
The kid's gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
I really love the different angle of the same story. We get to see it from everyone's point of view.
Magnolia-esque.
This time I saw that in the beginning the dad was blurred, but it was him standing up saying, we need to hear from her. Yeah. That was him. And
I did like how the cop goes into the bar and she's like, what happened to your finger? And then, when you don't know the story, he's like, nothing, fine, work stuff. And then later you find out he got stabbed with a needle from that guy. Right. So like all the little pieces of all the questions get answered eventually.
And that he was lying about not being with that girlfriend or person.
The Britney's later. So I wonder if this is this a tale against mindless etiquette?
Ooh, that's a good one,
right? Like use the kid gloves on kids. Always bring your family in, whether you like them or not.
Well, you see how what's funny is like this time watching it, I really like the scene. I know it looked like I went to the bathroom, but I kind of watched it from the side. Yeah. I love the scene when she shows up at Benedict Wong's house with his boyfriend.
He had to eat the 6-8 hot dogs.
Well, I just love that, like, he was like, look, you gotta have to leave, and then
that was also a thing that they should have closed the door, but they were like, let's just do the right thing, like.
Well, his partner was like, come in. Right. And they were kind of looking at her like, as this kind of like crazy woman that they could like talk about later, like, wow, she was wild. Like she wanted to drink out of a bowl and the partner like had this look on her face that I would get if someone was acting like really eccentric. Right. Like and later I'd be like, she drank out of a bowl. Right.
The principal's assistant also said, you have a 2:00 appointment.
Oh yeah,
she was like,
say no.
Giving this face, like, but then she also didn't say anything and let it happen.
So what you're saying about like, you know, kind of like the politeness that keeps us from, you know, because like this lady,
our protective instincts,
like your instinct would tell you that this person is some sort of like apex predator or some sort of like evil thing.
Like you ignore it.
But society itself keeps you civil. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a little of that. I think you might be onto something there.
I wonder.
There's something going on there.
I don't know if I totally love that lesson though. Cause where do we go? The opposite of that is like being very hostile and being like, you look weird, I'm gonna keep you out.
I don't think that's a lesson. I just think it's like an observation about how sometimes in society there are things that we do to keep the peace when we should just be like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think it's saying be more of an asshole and be more paranoid. It might just be saying, listen to your gut. You have survival instincts. You know?
What about,
so maybe.
Julia Garner and Austin Abrams?
Is the drug addict.
The drug addict. Okay. What about from the teacher and the drug addict's point of view? Do you find any tales or what we can learn from them? From receiving things or taking things? The two of them don't really respond to rules and regulations very well.
Right. They were sort of bad people to be suspects because they didn't make it easy for themselves to be suspects. Right? They sort of like still expressed themselves and still were kind of like defiant and sort of muddied the waters.
Absolutely. Julia Garner's character, Justine, like, she's like stalking the kid.
Right.
And like driving home and it's like really
don't go bother them, just like
it's
knocking
really
at the door.
frustrating.
Structurally
Very
in the
frustrating
movie,
person.
I love that because first you're following her and you're like, well, should we sympathize with her? And then you see she makes the decision to start stalking the kid. We have almost no information about the world, so me as the viewer, I'm like, well, maybe it is her. Because now she's acting really weird. Now she's like crossed the line.
If nothing
But really,
else,
she was on the right track. She was solving the mystery of the movie, but I didn't have enough information yet to realize that's what she was doing.
Right.
She wanted to speak to the manager. She was kind of Karening a little bit.
Right.
You know, like she was told, stay away from him. And then she like literally like
Goes into his backyard, looking, peeking into his window.
and then shows up the next day and like opens the door and physically confronts him and it's
Right,
like, hey,
a kid. She doesn't
you know?
use the kid glove.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. But you know what? It's interesting because in another dumber movie, that character would be in the right the whole time. They'd be on their side and they would figure it out. But instead, that's just a quirk of her personality. And it didn't really help her. But in the end, she's ended up getting choked out by numerous people. Like she wasn't like on top of it. Like she
didn't end up being a hero.
No,
right?
not a hero.
She had a hard time throughout the movie.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when she falls asleep drunk outside the house and the mom walks out with the scissor and you just watch her slowly walk.
That walk is so freaky.
And at that moment, we don't know that the mom is so like helpless and almost harmless.
Yeah.
But you get a hint that she is.
But that walk was so like creepy and like
And
Twin
the sound
Peaksy.
effects of the car door opening.
Yeah, when she goes off screen and then you
don't
hear the
really
door
see
open,
it.
everyone was like,
And then you hear like
Scissor.
the metal and you're like, oh, she's pulling up a knife.
Yeah.
No, wait, she's just cutting her hair.
Jack Kreger is really good at like having off-screen sounds that make you invested in what's about to happen off-screen.
Was there a barbarian off-screen sound that you can remember? You know that there was one. Was there another one in this movie?
There's a lot of
Yeah,
sound
Barbarian I don't remember. There was definitely the feeling that that something's going on and that you're just not aware. You don't have all the pieces. You don't have the information.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That movie also unfolded like very slowly and you had 3 acts to figure out what the full story was, you know?
we love the Justin Long
Yeah, and Justin Long had a cameo in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he was like a
Who's
main...
Justin Long?
In Barbarian, he was that guy who was kind of a jerk who owned that apartment. And then
He's
Second
always
half
the
of
Me
the movie
Too
was
director.
driving the car.
Got
But
it.
then
Who was he in this movie?
The dad of
That let-
Bailey.
that let
the
him-
second pair of parents.
Yeah, the one who let Josh Brolin
Right.
look at the
Oh,
footage.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So seeing him was like kind of funny, kind of like
His
Zach's like,
face
hey,
is so good.
yeah,
It's the Kregerverse.
yeah, it's part of the Kregerverse.
The sound effects, the most disturbing scene for me is the one in the kitchen where the Benedict Wong, the principal, has to kill the
And he just keeps hitting his head into the guy's head.
boyfriend or husband. And the sound was so loud, like the visual was okay, like if you don't just focus on it, but the sound is like the skull breaking and then you see Gladys washing her hands just a few feet away, it's less loud. So that kind of sound, that's like really,
No, it was
shows
great.
you how close to you it is, and then like it's from a distance.
Yeah, you just watch someone doing a boring thing like washing their hands while you hear the sound of the bones crunching and you're not seeing it. It's great. It's great. Kind of reminded me of Paul Thomas Anderson, this movie. Like Boogie Nights and Magnolia. That whole vibe. There's a scene in Boogie Nights where Mark Wahlberg's trying to have a conversation with a porn director, and the whole time he's doing that, there's this little Asian guy throwing fireworks.
Oh, right.
And it's just like creating this like, it's like
Yes.
breaking up
You're so on edge.
Yeah,
I love that scene.
so that's what this reminded me of. This whole movie had that feeling of like,
Pins and needles.
people are just
Nerve.
doing boring stuff, but something really stressful is happening in the vicinity.
The stress
Yeah.
is like stretched out throughout
Yeah.
the whole movie.
However, at the beginning, like, I wasn't even sure how much of a horror movie
Right.
I was buckled in for. At first I'm like, oh, is this gonna be kind of like a mystery drama? But by the end, it's definitely a wild, supernatural you know, it's rich,
'Cause
it's
it was
possessions.
Yeah.
it's
More
like,
normal in the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah,
bloody
Zach-
murders
yeah.
and gore.
Yeah, Zach Kreger and the editor held the cards really close.
Yeah.
For like,
Until Justine
for
said,
2.5
hey, you're a
acts.
cop. You're not paying attention to your job. Like, we need to solve this crime. That's to remind the audience that we have a crime to solve.
Like in the beginning, like the initial act, like the kidnapping, it's like portrayed kind of serenely and beautifully. Like the kids are gracefully running out into
Yeah.
the night like a ballet.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're running like that. It's like really off-putting.
Yeah.
That their hands are just like in a triangle position and they have no shoes on because they pretty much woke up from bed and ran out of the house. So
And the music that
Yeah.
goes with it is actually kind of beautiful.
Right, was that a George Harrison song?
it was.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I Shazammed it. It's really beautiful. It's an awesome song.
what was it saying? It was like, watch out,
I forget the name of it, but it's got a really creepy name.
be careful. It's
Yeah,
something
it's
that.
like be careful of something, and it was like I looked it up and I was like, this is a creepy song. I
When I
really
listen to the
George Harrison
soundtrack,
is the underrated Beatle. His solo stuff, some of it's really awesome.
I'm
feels
one
very-
of the people
it feel-
that underrates
yeah.
him.
It feels,
but I did like that
But that
song.
song feels very modern. It feels like the chord changes being so like off from like traditional.
It was a cool song.
Yeah, it was.
I'd like to explore it again.
Yeah, it set up a really cool vibe. Yeah, man, this is a great movie. I have to talk about it tomorrow on my podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to use up all your juice, Joe.
No, it's not bad. No, it's alright. Seeing it a third time is crazy. I did notice that his backpack had sharks on it, and when the kid first goes to see the witch in her room, the mirror in the bathroom is reflecting a lion. Then when the cop, that's the dad of the other cops, the police chief. Behind him is just a whole bunch of like hunting stuff and like horses and bears and a man with a gun. There's just a lot about like
Okay,
carnivores
these.
and predators and apex predators in this movie. A lot of like things about, and then like they keep talking about parasites in the class, and then the gay couple's watching that thing with the
Tapeworm.
ant being taken over by the parasite.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff going on that has to do with like someone coming into your life and taking control of you and your body.
Yeah.
You know, like she's basically a parasite that they willingly brought into the house because of familial obligation. Even the dad's like, she didn't even come to our wedding. It's like great, like just to remind us of how little they know about her.
Right. Was this trying to make any statement about like world events, politics, war,
A little bit.
things like that?
I caught
or
two,
even tech?
I caught 2 or 3 this time.
What
that I
do you-
didn't catch last time.
What do you think, or what do you think it's focusing on there? Like, what's the connection?
So one thing I saw was when Josh Brolin leaves the house and he starts looking at the Wi-Fi tower,
Right.
and he starts getting in his head.
Right, sort of like
That-
the 5G moment.
Exactly. He started
Conspiracy.
the conspiracy theory that like 5G is hurting the children.
Right.
And we have a lot of that in our society now. Like, you know, like a lot more, you know, the social media and TikTok and 4chan and X have made it that conspiracies just run wild, and people who don't want to deal with life as it is willingly believe shit. Like, rather than believe that your life is a mediocre garbage factory because of your own choices, it's because the 5G is doing something, or the vaccines did something, or some bigger thing is controlling
Right.
us.
But this movie
So, yeah.
led us to the answer that it is a conspiracy. There's a
Well,
witch who's possessing
But
the
it's
town.
just one person. It's not the government.
Sure.
You know? But yes, you're right. There is like this kind of like but that witch is like part of someone's family. It actually reminded me of Nosferatu in that too, that there's this older person who's clearly been around so long that they think that they can use the word consumption as a disease. Like, that's like an 1840s disease.
A touch of consumption.
A touch of consumption? That's like old. So when you think of Nosferatu and this, like, I feel like there's a theme in movies lately of these older creatures or beings feeding off younger people and trying to stay alive forever. And when you think about the political gerontocracy that we have now, where everyone's like 90 and 100 years old and they're in charge of this country, and how we need new blood, there's something to that too. Like, there's something going on, but it's like not the theme of the movie.
Right.
It's kind of like just in the movie. That's just the world we live in.
I
you know?
also like
So-
that it makes us think about so many aspects of things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so clear that it's just that one thing, because it is not.
Right.
And it's kind of like waking people up to kind of sit together and talk about it and reflect on it. And that is important, because we've been talking about it, but it's like kind of talking in a circle too. Like, what is it?
Well, yeah, it's
anything
a stew.
can be weaponized.
It's an expansive, yeah, it's an alphabet soup, I was going to say.
It's a stew of themes,
Mm-hmm.
but they all are very modern. Modern themes. Some of them are conspiracies. There was a gun in the sky. School shootings. 5G conspiracy. Old people coming in and like creepily sucking the life out of young people. You know, there's a lot of different things going on. Yeah, it's, that's why seeing it a second and third time was interesting. This time I was very analytical, like you said. Like first time I saw it, I was just in it, and I was like excited that it's such a like off-putting movie. It's like, starts off very slow, and then like just kind of like moves like a murder mystery, small town, Twin Peaksy thing, and then kind of turns into a horror movie. And then by the time I saw it this time, I was just looking in the background a lot to see if there were any hints. Like the planets in the classroom that are up on top, when they come into the room and none of the kids are there and he's there, he's underneath the Earth. So I was trying to figure out what that meant, because like Jupiter's over here, Saturn's over here, Earth is right over him. And I know that like Zach Cregger is very intentional. So like I feel like that means something. Like he's the Earth. Like meaning like this is how we as humans are. Like something horrific is happening in our life and we just let it happen. And like actually help it happen just to like save ourselves. Cause he's basically like, if you get better, will you leave? You know what I mean? Like that's,
he
betrayed the,
caring for
he betrayed the entire town just to help himself, in a way.
Sure, but I mean, he's a little kid. Like,
I know.
That's like the most you can expect for him.
I know.
It's either to like not save himself or save himself. He's not going to be able to save the whole town.
So smart.
Well, he could just raise his hand and be like, yo, this crazy witch living at the house and my parents are comatose. But he can't, because she like made them do that for him.
Right.
Yeah.
He would have maybe sacrificed his parents.
Yeah. But that's interesting too. That opens up a can of like, what, you know, if we don't see him as a kid, if we just see him as like the Earth, then it is interesting. Like it's like kind of like implying that humans in general will save their own skin and allow horrific things to happen. That's why that gun was in the air. You know,
Alex he let us down. He let down the town. He did not rise up to his responsibility.
He let down the human race. And then everyone else, well, I'm not blaming him.
Well, that town, the cops are not that smart. If he goes up to them, his parents gonna...
No, I'm not really blaming him, but I'm thinking in terms of Zach Cregger and his themes. And what might be hidden in the narrative, you know?
I noticed the second round when he went to the supermarket to get the soup. He got one that...
Well, yeah, he learned. The first one he couldn't open them, and the second one he had the puller.
The one that doesn't need a can opener.
Oh, yeah. Because some do and some don't?
Yeah.
Well, the first round at home...
I didn't notice that moment.
At home he was using the can opener, and then we got ones that have the flip.
So in the grocery scene, you saw him make that choice?
I didn't see him, but then they showed him pulling it later.
He got it, put it in his basket, and then it was like...
But that's important, because that shows that he can learn, and that justifies his plan at the end to make his parents chase him and go around them so he can get into that room. Because they were guarding the room with the tree. So he was like,
I missed that.
And he like made them go into these three things
so
and then
that
got
he
it.
can eventually get
Wow, I didn't realize there was such a calculation.
He had a whole plan.
Because he heard
I thought
them
it was just the
downstairs being
chaos.
attacked. Yeah,
he had a plan to get to the wall.
Yep, and I think the showing him learning through the soup was a way of us building him, like knowing that he's someone who can think, you know? Like you leaned over to me when the drug addict got into the house and you're like, why is he there? And I was like, after seeing it a couple of times, because all the newspapers were out that they had never picked up, so he's like, oh, no one's home. So you see him like looking at the newspapers in the yard, so that's where this movie is very smart about.
I thought because of the house was all blocked off.
He was like they were kind of showing the newspapers that had never been taken.
Okay. Was he just wandering around the town?
He's true chaos. Yeah,
he stumbled upon that house.
Oh, I love that from his point of view. The world is very like wall, because he's so high.
Trying all the doors to see if he can find that one that
it's like a curved lens.
He was so good in this.
It's so funny.
A lot to chew on, and like seeing it a third time, I still caught some things I didn't see the first time. So yeah.
Olive, you want to tie a bow on it?
There's a big question for all of us. On a scale of 1 to 10, give it a score.
I'll give it an objective 8 because I think it's like I'm not gonna say it has problems, but I can see how a general audience might be like, it's boring and it wasn't scary. But I thought it was like kind of like a narrative masterpiece. So for me, it's like at least an 8. But I would understand people who don't get it, but it's not for someone who likes the Conjuring movies. It's
I don't like
it's much
Conjuring
cooler than
movies.
Conjuring.
Yeah.
Olive?
I thought about it, and it makes my heart still ache the second time, and I thought, how can you improve it? It's hard. I have given Friendship, the movie, 10 out of 10. I
Holy
can't do
shit.
that to every movie. I will give it a 9.5.
I went 5, wow. I feel like I'm one of those people that's always hesitant to call anything perfect. Like, I want to leave a little room at the top. So I was thinking in my mind an 8 before John gave his rating. I loved it though. Like, super unique horror movie. Like, I love movies like Nope that are like just,
It's very much like a Jordan.
in the genre.
It's like a Jordan
Did you
Peele
see
movie.
that together?
Yeah, we saw, that was the other movie that we've seen in the theaters together. But,
The moodiness and the darkness.
just the fact, you go to a horror movie and you realize you're seeing something that you've never seen before and that maybe like has never been put together in this way before at all.
Jordan
And
Peele,
I love that
very
innovation.
similar. Very
Yeah.
similar
You did
because
bring up
lot to
that
chew
it
on
reminds
after
you
Jordan
of
Peele
Jordan
movie.
Peele.
8 out of 10, and the ending is triumphant. Like,
Yeah.
the ending is
The ending is worth the price of
cherry on
admission.
top. Yep.
Final 3 minutes of this film is like
And so what other scary movie ends like that? It's a happy ending.
So satisfying. You saw a lot of gymnopedy elements.
Classroom.
The tent.
first aid
The
kit.
law.
Oh, and all roads lead
Thank
back
you.
to Dignopedi.
The first aid kit.